In the previous video, we've already seen that Selenium IDE is a great tool that can help us record a journey through a web application. In this video, we'll take a closer look at the Selenium IDE. The Selenium IDE surely has great features, however, it's not capable of repeating things. We don't have access to conditions, so we can't behave differently in almost similar situations. It is not possible to reuse steps in many test cases. To be able to do these things, we need a programming language. Luckily, we can use the Selenium IDE to export our test case to various programming languages, such as Java, C#, Ruby, Python, and much more. A programming language will give us access to repetition, conditions, and easy reuse of functionalities. Earlier, we saw that we had the opportunity to choose from a verification and an assertion. So what's the difference? Assertion is fail fast. That is, the script will stop immediately. Whereas a verification is not fail fast, and other verifications on the page can be done even if the first one fails. We can use this and start by asserting that we are on the right page before we start verifying different elements on the page. It is not ideal to verify elements on a page if we aren't on the right page. Combining assert and verify can give you better scripts. Let's dive a little deeper into Selenium IDE. We'll take a look at editing our scripts, exporting a script to a programming language, test suite, and uninstalling Selenium IDE. Start Selenium IDE from Firefox and open the test case we recorded a while ago. File, Open, Selenium HQ example. Now there are two tabs in Selenium IDE for editing scripts, Table and Source. Editing a script can be done in two different ways in Selenium IDE. Changing the order between the steps is just a matter of moving the rows up and down in the table view. We can drag the rows down and then back up. The reference menu at the bottom of Selenium IDE will give you a context-based help if you use the table. You can also edit the script you saved earlier by editing the HTML code. Using HTML may be even easier as compared to working with the table. You can also use the external editor to edit the HTML. Let's export the script to a programming language now. Let's go to File, Export Test Case As. We'll export this test case as Java, JUnit 4, WebDriver, and save it as Selenium HQ example. After exporting, open it in Editor and look at the code. Let's make a note of a few things here. The example is present in a package called com.example.tests. The class is called Selenium HQ example. Here we have a before method, a test method, and an after method. Let's take a look at each one of them individually. This is a before method. The name of the method is setup. This is a test method, named test Selenium HQ example, and the after method, called teardown. We also have three unused private methods. Private boolean is element present. Private boolean is alert present. And private string, close alert and get its text. This is a good start. Some of the stuff will be changed, but we'll come back to it at a later time. Now we will concentrate on Test Suite in Selenium IDE. You can combine two or more test cases into a test suite. This is a way to verify many different things and can perhaps be seen as a way to reuse functionality. It is not as flexible as using methods in a programming language, but it can work. We have one test case that we recorded earlier. Let's create another test case. Let's create a new test case. Select our newly created test case and ensure that it is in recording mode. Now, let's go to seleniumhq.org. Go to the documentation page and select Test Suites under the Selenium IDE section. Let us verify the page title again. Right-click anywhere, and here it is. Our title is Assert Title, Selenium IDE, Selenium Documentation. It has been recorded. Let us save it again. File, Save Test Case As. Let's name it Selenium HQ Example 2. This time, however, let's save it with an HTML extension. So, we have 2 test cases. And now, it's time to create a test suite. Let's go to File, Save Test Suite As, and name it Selenium HQ Example Test Suite. Select the Type As HTML and save it. We have saved the test suite successfully, and it's time to run it. To run the test suite, click on the second green icon whose tooltip is Play Entire Test Suite. Click it and observe. Great! So we have 2 test cases, and after executing them, they have successfully passed. You can see the green bar and the log. About the base URL, you can find it here at the top. If you want to run the same scripts on different servers, just change the base URL. You could point to acc.seleniumhq.org for testing the acceptance testing environment, or it will point to www.seleniumhq.org to run on the production site. Installing Selenium IDE was easy. It turns out that it is almost as easy to uninstall it. Before uninstalling it, let's check how to disable Selenium IDE. To disable Selenium IDE, let's go to Tools, Add-ons, Extensions. Click the Disabled button for Selenium IDE 2.x.y and click on the Restart Now link. Once Firefox restarts, the Selenium IDE is disabled. You can check it by going to Tools and observe the submenu. The Selenium option is no longer present. If you wish to enable it again, go to Extensions. You'll find a grayed out Selenium IDE option. Click on Enable, restart Firefox, and you'll have Selenium back in action. Now, let's uninstall it. The Remove button on the very right uninstalls Selenium. Once we restart Firefox again, you'll see that there are no traces of Selenium left. For more information on Selenium IDE, these links should be very helpful. www.seleniumhq.org/docs/o2_selenium_ide.jsp or docs.seleniumhq.org/projects/IDE. Selenium IDE is good enough for simple, static pages. However, responsive applications are not something Selenium IDE is very good at verifying. Selenium IDE is a good place to start, but it's not a place to stop. This is not the tool to automate testing of complicated websites, or do complicated testing that requires logic in the test cases. With that, we come to an end to the second section. In this video, we covered a lot of important pointers about the Selenium IDE that will help us in this journey of mastering Selenium testing tools. In the next section, we'll touch upon a very crucial part of our course, the WebDriver. Stay glued!